Finally, after months of waiting, the state of Delaware is back at auctioning off surplus vehicles. There are 38 vehicles on this auction lot today, including cars, trucks, vans. There's even some motorcycles as well. We're at a new location in Smyrna, Delaware, a little more secure than the past one. The old one had problems with catalytic converters and even wheels and tires being stolen off the cars because it was more of an open lot area. This is much more secure, cameras, fenced in, it's a little better situation. We're going to go through these cars, see what we like, see what's interesting, see what we want to bid on. With our fingers crossed, with a little luck, we're going to come home with something. But for now, let's get out there, let's take a look at some cars and see what we like. All right, first one up, lot 601. It's a 2012 Chevy Impala 9C1 police model, 68,950 miles. I keep gravitating back towards these every time I come to these auctions. I like the cop wheels, the little hubcaps, the steel wheels on them. These are used here in Delaware as student driver ed cars. You find these at the high schools where they teach driver's ed, and you know, they don't get a lot of miles, a lot of use. This is a 2012, so it's 10 years old with 68,000 miles on it. Not bad at all. The condition is always very nice on these. There's usually some sticker shadows on the back where they put the student driver stickers on. Sometimes there's some marks on the roof, some scrapes and things where they put the signs up there. But these are always, seems to be in nice condition. You can see like the wear on the steering wheel here. The seats are nice, it's clean inside. They really do a nice job with these. This one is on and running. We got the check engine light on, the heat's on, which feels good. We have the service history report on this vehicle, everything ever done to it since it was new. And looking through it, it's batteries, lug nuts, tire rotation, oil changes. Nothing seems to really jump out. There's a diagnostic charging system problem that occurred back in April 18. So you get some nice history report on some of these vehicles, not all of them. Out back, the condition is nice for a police vehicle. This isn't usually how police cars are spec'd out. This one is nice. It still has the vinyl flooring, but you get the cloth seats. There's no partitions, there's no criminals being thrown in the back of these things. Typically in the past, bidding is usually in the $4,500 range is where they end up. That's pre-COVID. Right now, the bid is $5,500. It's running in $500 increments. So the next bid is going to be $6,000. I jumped on the KBB and take a look at their trade-in values, and they put trade-in at $4,500 to $5,500. A private party sale between $6,100 and $7,900 on these. So, you know, say I have an average of $7,000 or so. Yeah, and cosmetically, these are nice. I mean, the tires are a little worn, not too bad. There's no dings or dents or scratches. The miles modest. You got a check engine light. I don't have a code reader. I'm not going to bother trying to figure out what that might be. And you know, this one's going to go for way more than I want to spend. There's also another Impala 9C1 that I want to look at, a little higher miles, that I think is going to be more in my price range. So let's see where this one ends up. We'll use this one as a benchmark, and we'll bid on the next one. Next up, item 602. It's a 2015 Dodge Grand Caravan, 90,400 miles. Bidding right now $6,300. It's in $500 increments, so next bid $6,800. Pre-COVID prices, I saw these routinely sell $6,000 range. Mid sixes, low sixes. These are kept at the different park services, and every high school in the state of Delaware has one of these minivans sitting in the parking lot. These things are used to shuffle people around and so forth, you know, and they're always well cared for and clean. You know, some dings down here and a crack right there. Something interesting about these minivans is that before they're brought down here to the auction, they're sent to the local prison system, and the prisoners, they detail these things. They do a really, really nice job with them too. Get them really clean again. So inside, these things are really quite clean and well cared for. The worst part of these are usually the exterior with the dings and the dents and so forth. I jumped on the KBB and looked up trade-in value, $8,400 to $10,300, and private party between $9,400 and $11,600. So figure an average of $10,500 for a private party sale. Every time I come to these auctions, my 12-year-old daughter always asks to find a white minivan and bring it home. Though I'm not paying these prices, and this isn't something I want to drive. However, with a family of 6, I need 3 rows, and this works for me. This isn't my style though. It isn't my isn't my kind of car, what I'm looking for. But it's always fun to come out here and look. If one ever turns up for the right price and the right condition, I'll certainly jump on it, but I'm not spending 10 grand on this. And here we go with the motorcycles. This is a 2005 Buell Blast. Bidding is right now at $625. It's running in $100 increments. All the others, they're running in $10 increments. 2001 Kawasaki 125. It's a $165 bid right now. Item number 27. It's a 2001 Honda Nighthawk. Bidding is at $230. A Honda Rebel. Bidding is at $230. A 1991 Suzuki. Bidding at $245. A 2005 Kawasaki is $185. And this last one, a 2007 Honda Rebel, $250. The bidding is at $195. I can only assume each one of these were confiscated. It was picked up by the state police, brought down here, and sold off. Some of these looks like they're parts bikes. Some of them are hodgepodge together. Some are missing parts. Lot number 612 is a 2013 Ford Focus. There's 7 of these available today. Pre-COVID prices, I saw these things sell in the past in the $4,000 range. Super low mileage ones, like in the 20 to 30,000 mile range, would sell in the $6,000 to $7,000 range. This one bidding right now, 75,000 miles on this car. Bidding is at $6,000, running in $500 increments. I'm telling you, the state has sold a ton of these over the past year and a half, 2 years or so. I'm saying like 85, 90 of these cars. They're all in usually pretty nice condition. If you're familiar with these Focuses, man, they have transmission problems. It's a dual clutch transmission. They're just notorious for having all kinds of shifting problems. Ford had implemented all kinds of hodgepodge fixes for these transmissions, and they still don't have it right, even though, you know, it's just a continuous problem. They overheat, and it throws the car, you know, the car throws itself into neutral while you're trying to accelerate. It's just all kinds of issues. On these fleet models, check this out, you get cranks up in the back and power windows up front. Inside, though, it's really quite clean and nice, and it's very presentable. It's just that transmission that you have to deal with. I wanted to jump online and see what these things retail for, actual selling prices, and I went to CarMax. I figured that'd be a good benchmark. They offer a 90-day warranty, 4,000 mile warranty on these cars. They have one of these. It's a 2013, similar miles. It's in Oklahoma, priced at $12,995. That's what these things are selling for. So to see this one bidding up to $6,000 isn't as surprising as I thought it would be. I mean, it's a pleasant car. It looks nice. You got to deal with the transmission problems, or the inevitable transmission problems you're going to have with these. But overall, I mean, it's very clean, very nice, very tidy. It's a great first car for somebody. But for $13,000 and that unknown factor of that transmission, I have very little interest in something like this. But it's fun to see, fun to look at, and it's fun to see where the bidding's going to end. And right next to that is lot 613. It's a 2001 Ram 2500, so it's a 3/4 ton, 63,000 miles on it. Bidding is at $2,095. Again, $500 increment in bidding prices. I don't know a lot about these, but I know that you find these trucks all over the state. Sometimes they're at fire departments, schools. This one looks like it had a plow attachment on the front of it. I'm looking to see if it's 4-wheel drive, and yep, there's the pumpkin up front. This isn't all rusty. I'm surprised to see that. Sometimes, you know, the community centers have these also. I was expecting to see maybe a salt bed back here, but the bed is actually really quite clean. Obviously, it's been sitting outside its whole life. The inside's a little torn up, but it's a 2001. It's a work truck. The miles, really quite modest. It's fairly clean inside. Headliner's a little droopy, minor stuff, just cosmetics. And I'm not really quite sure what engines these would have. Probably a 360. Says that a 5.9 liter. And just looking at the body, I'm shocked that it's still there. There's no pieces missing. There's no holes in the bodywork. You still got all the pinch welds down here. It's really much cleaner than I expected it to be, especially being a plowed truck. And so right now with the bidding at $25.95, this just may be the best buy here at the auction. And check this out, lot 615, a 2001 Chevy S10, 95,000 miles. Bidding is at $525, $100 increments. And this one looks like it was set up for a plow at some point. I cannot imagine this thing pushing anything, especially without any weight in the back. Every panel is gouged, and you got rust here, you got all around the lip here, it's just falling apart. Taking a walk around the back. Yeah, the tailgate, more rust down here. This thing is slowly returning back to Mother Earth. Inside, I'm surprised the door hinges are still on. This thing looks like it's rusting down here on the floor. I mean, where do you start? Where do you stop? Is this just a parts car? For $525, maybe somebody can have a work vehicle. I don't know how long this thing is going to last, how long it's going to stay on the road, if it's even going to be able to be like inspected and returned back onto the road. But for $525, maybe it's worth it to somebody. Here's item 700. It's a 2017 Ford Fusion, 57,000 miles. Current bidding $11,008, $1,000 increments. Next bid amount is going to be 12 grand. Mike at Autovlog, if you follow his YouTube channel, he built his entire channel at the very beginning on Ford Fusion content. Yeah, it's an impressive job what he did. These things are attractive cars. I think they're quite nice. You're certainly going to pay for it here at this auction. The interior is clean. It's two-tone. It's well designed and well cared for. It's clean inside. It's smooth and quiet. It's just a very nice, pleasant car. And of course, at this auction, because of the mileage, because of the condition, it's going to sell for a lot of money. Alright, this is lot 707, the 2015 Tahoe SSV. It's a four-wheel drive, 97,700 miles. Bidding right now is at $11,500. And this thing looks nice from the distance. And when you get up close, I mean, the hood is just a mess. This one, I'm going to guess, just based on those tires, this thing came from either the beach or the park service. There is some sticker shadows on here. I cannot necessarily make out what it says. I see police, but I don't know what it says up here. It might be park police, might be something else. I don't know. Maybe a municipality down at the beach. Inside is clean. The engine's running, the heat's on. Feels good in here. Anytime I've seen these 2015s at these auctions, they always have transmission problems, and it's typically the transmission shift module. The part alone is about $250. You have to drop the oil pan out of the transmission, pull the valve bodies to get to the module, and then send it out for a repair. It's not something you can necessarily repair yourself. It's more like a replacement part, or you send it out for a rebuild. This one is really quite nice inside, really clean, really nicely done. Not destroyed. Usually the seats are ripped and the dash is tore up. The door handles are a mess. This one seems like it's been treated nicely during its life. You get this little tiny info screen up here on these police models. No center console, so you have to put one in there. In the past, I've typically seen these sell in the $12,000 to $15,000 range. I fully expect this one to sell for that or even more. One Achilles heel on all these: displacement on demand. You have to consider the valve and the cam lifter problems, and it's a $4,000 to $5,000 repair to fix that displacement on demand issue. But again, this is a nice looking truck, in demand, desirable. Other than some cosmetics on the hood, this one's interesting. It's going to sell for a lot of money. Here's lot 708. This one's interesting to me. It's a 2014 E350, 83,000 miles. I'm shocked that the bidding right now is at $14,100. The engine sounds rattly. Body looks fine. It's got handicap accessible ramps on the side here. I'm not seeing any rust. I'm not seeing any rust on the rockers or quarters. The thing looks pretty good overall. Again, a lot of money though. On this side, looks just as clean. Inside, the seat isn't all ripped up. Just tidy as anything. I often thought of taking one of these and converting it into a camper van and just traveling all over the country with the kids over the summertime. This one is way outside any type of price range I want to spend on it. Let's just see where it ends up. Now, in comparison, this is lot number 712. This is a 2012, 82,000 miles. Bidding is at $31.99, running in $500 increments. Now, this is a much bigger van, and I wonder if that reflects why the price is a lot lower. Obviously, we got an exhaust problem going on. Inside, I mean, you get so much more room. You got a secondary air conditioning up here. You have a ramp over here for wheelchair accessibility. I'm surprised that this thing is so much less expensive than the smaller vans than the E350s. Oh, we do have a check engine light. We're low on gas. We're gonna we're gonna run out of gas shortly. Other than the exhaust, I can't imagine why this thing is selling for so much less than the 350 over there. Let's see where this one ends up. My GoPro just died, so I switched over to my phone. So if you see a difference in the audio or video, that's the reason. This is lot number 720. It's a 2017 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor, 100,800 miles on it. Right next to it, it's twin. This one's a 2015 with 126,000 miles on it. I bought one of these. It's a 2017 this past summer, and this has been an outstanding car. The only thing I had to do with my car, my Taurus, is oil change and the change of the oil in the power transfer unit. This thing has been durable, dependable, reliable, consistent, easy. However, I did add a center console to mine off of a civilian model. Made a world of difference. This looks identical in every way. It has a rear view mirror camera up here. Yeah, check that out. Kind of cool. Kind of tiny too. Clean and tidy, organized. I mean, again, it's just a very easy, very pleasant car. These are used, and I see some marks up here on the ceiling for the partition. These are used by the Department of Corrections here, transporting criminals from the prison system to the court system. Got a check engine light on. It's just easy cars to live with. It snowed recently, and I took mine out, and it did just fantastic in the snow and the slush and the ice. The all-wheel drive really makes a difference on these things. It makes it very year-round car. There's your down here. There's your backup camera. You got dual exhaust. You got parking sensors. Very, very nice cars. I paid $6,150 for my car. Had a little less miles, 88,000 miles on it. Got the Eagle RSAs down here. Looks like really good tread. What is that? That's concerning. That is concerning how it's all ripped up here. So the bidding on this one right now, $5,047. $500 increments. It's certainly worth to go a little higher than that. I like the silver. It's better than the white ones that you typically see. This 2015 bidding is a little lower, $3,200. It's running in $500 increments as well. Condition wise, it looks identical. Inside, oh yeah, the seat's all ripped up. Check that out. And the steering wheel's all gouged and messed up. Just cosmetics, I guess, from that perspective. In the back, these partitions and a plastic seat, and they just throw these in when they decommission these cars, and they pull the cages out. I can make out faintly some sticker shadows on the side. It looks like it says, yeah, I see corrections right there, Department of Corrections. So yeah, that just reaffirms where these cars came from. These are nice cars. They really are. They handle well. They have a 3.7 liter engine, 288 horsepower or so, if I recall correctly. It's just easy, pleasant cars to live with, and I think they look good too. Let's see where 721 ends. And 720. Now here's that other Impala that I was interested in, lot number 722. It's a 2012, 80,600 miles. Bidding is at $4,500 right now. And again, this is a former driver's ed car. I like the steel wheels. I like the 9C1 spec. There is some scraping right here where there was a sticker, probably a student driver sticker right here on the trunk lid. I would bid a little higher on this one. I'd go into the $5,000 range, not much more than that. CarMax, I jumped over onto their website and I keyed in the VIN. They said they'd make an instant offer of $5,000 on this car. I mean, just based on the information that I keyed in, it's a clean interior, no accidents, all that stuff. The steering wheel has some wear and tear on it. No center console for the police spec. I mean, the interior just looks fine, looks clean, nice. Nothing obvious or dirty or unwanted in here. Throw it right into reverse and it engages quickly and easily. Should be a 6-speed transmission. Its engine sounds smooth. The heat's on. Heat's blowing fine. Let's pop the hood, take a look underneath. Underneath the hood, the engine looks fine. There's, I had somebody once tell me that was a heat shield for the radiator hose. And let's take a look at the engine oil. Looks clean. It smells clean too. I mean, the engine oil smells just fine underneath. Let's see if we can find... I can't see a single thing under there. I'm not seeing any obvious leaks. It does have a catalytic converter. With these police models, instead of fog lights, you get like little air ducts that go right to the brake calipers. Kind of cool. On the passenger side, looks just as good as the other. I mean, it looks like a nice car, and it's one I'm going to be interested in. I'm going to see where the bidding ends up. I'm going to throw a bid in there. I'll go into like the low 5,000s. Right now, it's at $500 increments. I mean, if it switches over to $100 increments right after $5,000, I mean, I might go into like 5,300, say. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this one ends up. I'm going to be curious. I'm going to be a bidder, and I got my fingers crossed. So that's the auction preview at the Delaware State Surplus Auction. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had a good time out here. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.